Ambazonia Defense Forces, the vanguards of the Ambazonia War of Independence.
Ambazonia, special loyalty. Praise to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the hero for God alone we gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Ambazonians. All Money Place Day. I am delighted and happy to have a discussion with you again on the state of the revolution as well as the situation of our leader of the liberation, the Ambazonian liberation. I'm also happy because your determination, your defiance has shown Cameroon who owns the land. I therefore salute the brave warriors in the lion's den, the brave warriors in the dungeons of La République, our displaced person internally and externally, but most importantly, our civilian population and the Ambazonian Defense Forces and sister forces that continue to defend our independence restored. In the last 8 years, you have shown Cameroon that you are unbowed. In the last 8 years, you have shown Cameroon that the 2 cubes of sugar have been able to do reverse osmosis and absorbed all the basin of water, and the basin is dry. Cameroon is running skelter-helter, both in its own country and abroad, to find friends. We have humbled them in the diplomatic circles, despite the complicity of the international system. But before I go there, in the last 6 weeks, your leader, Dr. Cho Ayaba, through the complicity of Norway with La République and the international system, was arrested and he's being questioned. Lest you forget, Dr. Cho has been charged on frivolous counts under Penal Code number 102 and 109 in Norway. The Norwegian police, cripples, for the last 6 weeks have been unable to find any evidence to back up their frivolous charges. And as such, your leader has not been indicted as we speak. However, I thank all the lawyers, all the barristers, all the law firms within the Ambazonian circle and beyond who have provided help directly and indirectly to prepare for any charges, to prepare for the defense of Dr. Cho Ayaba should cripples proceed to charge him. The arrest of Dr. Cho Ayaba was expected, and he knew himself as a lion who has fought Cameroon, the only one in this generation who has matched Cameroon ideal for ideal, iron for iron, rooftop by rooftop, gutter hole by gutter hole, block by block. And as such, Norway, through the request of Cameroon and its international absorbing partners, call them absorbing partners, decided to arrest your leader. Norway has been put on notice by the Ambazonian Governing Council and the entire mankind because Norway's international reputation rests on the defense of human rights and violence against people. And as such, Norway is called upon to respect and to honor its international reputation. The case against Dr. Cho Ayaba has no basis. And once more, Norwegian reputation as the harbinger of human rights has been put to test. And we are monitoring the situation minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, week by week. We know Norway, for lack of evidence on political freedom, on freedom of speech, on freedom of the pursuit of strategies against totalitarian regimes, decided to side with Cameroon because Norway had given visas numerously to Cameroon diplomats and Cameroon acolytes to visit Norway to try to discuss with Dr. Cho, who told them to pack out of Ambazonia and come to the negotiation table. Norway is yet another country that Cameroon is prostituting with. Cameroon prostituted with the Swiss, and it ended in disaster, where they dumped Swiss and denied that they ever contacted the Swiss to do anything. Cameroon prostituted with Canada and dumped Canada. Cameroon is prostituting with Norway, and Norway will be dumped by Cameroon. And Ambazonia will still be standing tall, and we will continue to pursue our quest for freedom. It is our inalienable right to self-defense in the absence of a responsibility by the international system to protect the Ambazonian people from the thuggery, from the murderers, and from the atrocities of Cameroon. Dr. Cho Ayaba knew, my fellow people, that one day he will be dragged into the dungeons of either Cameroon and or its international partners. And today he is in the dungeons of Norway. And he told us, when that happens, don't ask how he is doing. Dr. Cho Ayaba from the last visit was doing well and smiling and happy and said, I have taught them what they did not know about Ambazonia. He said he has educated Norway on the dynamics and for Norway to honor its vote in April 1961 to grant independence to Ambazonia. Dr. Cho Ayaba has asked Norway to uphold the values for which its international reputation is harbored and to go after the actual perpetrator of violence on the Ambazonian people and not him trying to defend himself, trying to defend the Ambazonian people from forced occupation by Cameroon. Dr. Cho Ayaba, when he was still out here, he told us never to worry about him, even if he's arrested, and that he was up to the task to handle every situation. And as such, I align with his thought and his stance, and I ask you all to focus on Ambazonia and our struggle for freedom. I ask you all to know that the Ambazonia Governing Council and all those who are contributing towards the legal fund drive to make sure that he's defended in the Norwegian courts, should in case he's indicted, to continuously do so, but also to focus more on kicking the last vestiges of Cameroon out of Ambazonia. And as such, I thank you for staying defiant despite his absence. I thank all the forces, all the civilians, all in the dungeons and all in the diaspora, the refugees in Ground One and elsewhere, to remain determined and unwavering. Because if you look at the last 30 years, the last 130 years, I would say, all nations and individuals who have conspired against our freedom have realized that the spirit to be independent can never be betrayed or buried. We have seen in the last 8 years, enablers and traitors within the Ambazonian ranks themselves have sided with the regime, just like slaves sided with their slaves' masters. But they have not been able to betray and bury us. We are germinating without water. And as such, we must defend the freedom we declared. We must defend the freedom Siseko Ayok Tabe reaffirmed. We must defend the freedom and be ready to pay the ultimate price and claim that freedom. And as such, Dr. Cho is ready, and he has always been ready in private and in public to pay the ultimate price if that would lead to the freedom of Ambazonia. And as such, don't worry too much about him. He's a lion. He's doing well. He can handle the situation. And rest assured that where he is doing everything possible to make sure that Ambazonia comes on top as the winner of this yet legal battle. My fellow Ambazonians, on September 30th, 1961, a month and 2 days, about equivalent of a month and 2 days ago, that's 63 years ago, 1 month and 2 days, Cameroon invaded our land. Cameroon marched its troops, and from that day to today, Cameroon has unleashed a reign of terror. Cameroon has murdered, exiled, tortured, and dismantled every institution of ours that could allow us to survive as a people. Cameroon has looted and systematically destroyed the first democratic institutions in Africa that were established in southern Cameroon, today Ambazonia. They have ruled with cartels. Their ruling with cartel has been supported by guarantors in the international community who have remained implicit in their maiming of our people. And they have continuously supported Cameroon financially to loot our resources and to murder us. Norway is yet another beneficiary of this looting and murderous regime in Yaoundé. Norway, through its companies, have been awarded, and during the crisis, this last phase of the crisis specifically, that started in 2017, Norwegian companies have been awarded contracts, and Norway has been promised to bring the head of Dr. Cho in order to continuously benefit from the looting and the murderous regime in Yaoundé. However, 8 years ago, despite all of these, we rose up as one people to defend the looting and the murderous regime that Cameroon instituted in Ambazonia. We rose up to put an end to the reign of terror in our land and to reclaim our land and to assert our right to be free. And as such, no people have ever gained freedom without sacrifice. No people have ever gained their sovereignty without being threatened illegally, militarily, deinstitutionalization, and all the different maneuvers of the regime and the complicity of the international system. If you look at history, you realize that despite the Poles in Poland being overtaken by the Hitler regime, the dug trenches, their country was transformed into a concentration camp, but they never gave up. They dug trenches, and in the end, they became free. That is also the reason why in the American Revolution, despite the might of the great British Empire, their yearn for freedom was accomplished by the sacrifice of Americans who aspired to live and determine their own future freely. And as such, you find Ambazonia following the same footpath. Fellow Ambazonians, Scotland has been with the United Kingdom for the last 400 years, but that in itself has not stopped them from yearning for independence and freedom. Norway was with Denmark for 100 years. They coexisted with Sweden, but that did not stop them declaring their right to be free as an independent country. The price of freedom and the desire to be free is imbued in every mankind. Norway, that today harbors your leader of the liberation, decided to break free from its coexistence with Denmark, with Sweden, and they celebrate that on every 17th of May to show their determination, but also to be happy, to be acquainted, to be sure that those they cohabited with understood and understand that their freedom means a lot to them. During that period of coexistence, Norway would have just simply folded their arms with some status, with some semi-autonomy, but they didn't. They decided to look after their own destiny. They took their own destiny into their hands and declared their independence. Fast forward more than a century today, Norway is the same country persecuting another leader who is helping, who is defending the atrocities of Cameroon in Ambazonia, who is also with his people yearning for freedom as Norway did. Fellow Ambazonians, no one should deceive you, not even the enablers who have told you that you have suffered enough. Let's stop it and go back to eat crumbs in Cameroon. Defending freedom is a tough endeavor. Defending freedom is not a walk in the park. Defending freedom is not a day's job. The survival of Cameroon depends on the freedom of Ambazonia. The Ambazonian people have vomited Cameroon because of its failed system, its corrupt individuals, and its good-for-nothing education system. The Ambazonian people seek to live in peace rather than in the brutality of Cameroon in its own country. Fellow Ambazonians, the arrest of your leader is a scheme by international system to bully and blackmail you to submission. But because your leader is not shaking in the dungeons of Norway, we will not shake. We will observe our civil disobedience tomorrow on Country Sunday. We will continue to urge those using our borders to cater goods and services to Cameroon to stop. We will trade with our partners in the west of our country. We will trade within ourselves to reduce the prices of goods and services. The kidnapping and renditions of Ambazonians from Nigeria to Cameroon have not stopped us, and as such, the detention of your leader will not stop us. We will stop civil disobedience, our right to self-defend ourselves from the brutality of Cameroon when our freedom comes. We will stop ghost towns on the day Ambazonia is free, because through these sacrifices, we are able to honor our fallen soldiers, our fallen comrades. We are able to honor the blood of those that have been spilled in order to pursue the cause for which we continuously fight. We will not eat crumbs from an authoritarian system in Yaoundé. My people, we have come so far. Our revolution is at a point of no return. In the last 6 weeks, Cameroon has encroached into all our defense positions unsuccessfully, and they are surprised at the stiff defense we put up. Cameroon has tried to use enablers and infiltrators to decapitate Ground Zero. We have pushed them back. Cameroon thought that with a leader incarcerated, they will have an easy pathway in order to murder our people, in order to make life hard, in order to decapitate the leadership on the ground. But you have shown them that if in the last 8 years you have been unable to quench our thirst for freedom, it's not in 6 weeks that you'll be able to take even an inch again of our land. The days of Cameroon in Ambazonia are numbered. Fellow Ambazonians, the struggle for freedom is an expensive endeavor. For every 1,000 amber that we spend, Cameroon spends 100,000. And as such, I urge you to see the challenges that we face and to make sure that we work together on our ideas to be free, to make sure that we continuously fund the revolution through a liberation tax, through voluntary contributions, just like the Ukrainians, just like the Palestinians, just like the Eritreans, and all other people around the world have done when they were pursuing their freedom. I therefore ask you not to relent in your efforts to support in whatever way you can, because we must take our country come rain, come shine. Our top priority now should not be on Dr. Cho Ayaba, because he is doing well. He is fighting for Ambazonia, and the day you see him come out, know that that is the final path to our freedom. And as such, he will be happy that you didn't think so much about him, because you knew he was up for the task. You knew he was able to withstand the situation, and all he had asked of you, should in case he's incarcerated as he is now, was to continuously fund the revolution, was to continuously defy Cameroon, was to continuously challenge Cameroon's rule in Ambazonia, and to push the liberation forward. We have seen through the payment of your liberation tax that a harmonious relationship and an accountable method of funding the revolution has been put in place. The friction between our forces and our population has been greatly reduced. We therefore ask you that you should continuously pay your liberation tax. You continuously contribute monthly, weekly, and daily to help our population defend themselves, but also to provide social and other amenities to our suffering population. The fight for our freedom leaves no room for peace to the genocidal Cameroon Republic. Whenever Cameroon is ready to negotiate, Cameroon will come and talk to us on our own terms on how it's going to leave Ambazonia. And until that time comes, we will continuously fight until Cameroon is defeated. To defeat Cameroon is not a day's job. We have been chipping them away slowly, and time is on our side. Time is always on the side of liberators, because we aren't going anywhere. Cameroon will spend, and Cameroon would lose the war. We might lose some battles. That should not deter you. We might lose some fights. That should not worry you. There are challenges that are normal in every pursuit of freedom. There are challenges that we have become accustomed to. The Ambazonian Governing Council has been used to challenges and setbacks. And as such, this recent challenge and others that would come are simply the scenarios that we've dealt with and developed the competence, developed the institutions, the people to leverage from it and to leverage from any other challenge to pursue our freedom. All I ask of you is to fight as if you were the last man standing. God bless Ambazonia. Shake, shake, Atebo, shake, shake, Yose. We are the never again generation. And if, as Dr. Cho said, I am taken away, do not think anymore about me. Think more about your freedom. And I'll be happy where I am, knowing that you have not slided back on our quest for freedom. Dr. Cho will be more than happy to come out and see that we have not relented our efforts to be free, and that the spirit of freedom is still burning high in our lives, and that the fighting of Cameroon out of Ambazonia has taken on a new turn. God bless you all, fellow comrades. On my place, a day.
Hail, hail, Legends to the hero, for God alone we gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing rivers and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father, for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
Ambazonia Defense Forces, the vanguards of the Ambazonia War of Independence.